Well, I listen because it's public radio. And also, it's my alma mater. I'm class of 98, so I have a connection. It's a really good question. And I have several answers. And I'm going to go back to the fact that it's public radio, that it's not corporate. And that allows us to virtually play whatever we want. And by doing that, I think we attract a wider audience. I don't want to say pander to the community, but we certainly accommodate them because we're not corporate driven. No one's telling us you have to play a certain genre or a certain song at a certain time. And because of that, I think we just have or should have a wider listening audience. Wow. Okay. I love that question because I love anything that has to do with the mental health minute. So let's backtrack a little because I said I was a graduate of class of 98. So my AA degree was in psych. And then I went on to a pretty good university down in Baltimore City and got a degree. I did a double major in psychology and sociology. My whole college career was digging into mental health and also the bigger picture, which fits into WHFC. Follow this with me, because when you talk about psychology, it's the individual. Sociology is the community, the group, the culture, all of us together. And I just felt like there's always been a need because there's so much stigma to mental health issues. And goodness knows we all have them. I say no one comes out of the womb unscathed. There's always a little blip or something happening. Anybody that tells you they're totally sane should be suspect, in my opinion. It's a joke. And so I felt like it was much needed. And then when you put the COVID aspect into it, this has been so hard on everyone. And when you can't be social in the way you're used to, the effects are just so detrimental. So I thought this was the perfect time. But it goes back to what I keep saying about public radio. And it's the same for public television. And for me, I don't deal with mainstream media. I go straight to the source with my own research, or I try to find stations, the information that's being put out there that doesn't seem to have a bias. As difficult as that may be, it happens. And that's what's happening here at WHFC every day. You get your music without a bias. You're getting mental health minute, no bias, just straight facts. Because I think that now more than ever, that's what people are really longing for. There's a great need for that. Cutting out all of the, I'm not going to use the word, but people are done with that. So I'll say it again. If not now, then when? Because there's such a great need. And this is the perfect forum because, and I'll say this again and I'll keep saying it, we are not corporate. We're here for the community. And I like to joke that HFC stands for Here for the Community. You drive us. We're listener sponsored. You are our boss. So I'm hoping, I'm out there listening, and I'm hoping that I'm hitting all the marks. I'm hoping that needs are being met with the Mental Health Minute. Don't have any expectations. Okay, I'm going to start with that because you don't know what to expect. Because some nights I come in here and I'm not even sure. And I don't mind admitting that. There are times where everything is planned down to the last second, and there's times where I'm just on a whim. And guess what? I bet you haven't noticed the difference between the two. At least I hope you haven't. So I'm going to backtrack a little and tell you that I'm living the dream, that this is something that I've wanted to do. You know that question people ask, if you're not doing the job you're doing now, what would you do? Actually, I'd like to sing, but I can't carry a tune in a paper bag. So I'm kind of living out my love for music by sharing it. And there's nothing better. There's nothing better. And so what you're getting is all the music I love, that I like to listen to. And I am older, I'm sure, than most of the people that you hear on this station. I'm in my 60s, so I have a point of reference. I was actually alive and listening to the stuff that was coming out in the 60s. Even though I was young, I spent a lot of time with the transistor radio and AM, because that's what we had. When I was just about to hit my teens, FM broke the mold and just changed me musically, because then instead of hearing the Jackson 5 and the Beatles, suddenly there was Led Zeppelin and the Doors, and you hear a little Janis Joplin, but so much more of that, and a whole new world opened up for me. And I just fell in love with the guitar. I fell in love with funk. I always loved Motown. Huge fan of Jimi Hendrix, any great guitarist, Jeff Beck. I could just go on and on. Really love the slap bass, which is why I have such an affinity for funk, and I'm going to be playing even more. So there are shades of Beth that haven't even been out there yet, and I can't wait to share them with you. And I just hope that everyone loves going on the tour with me every week, because I certainly love doing it. It's a passion.